Hello, my name is Alexander Gattner, and this is my ANI218 Games Animation Project 1. For this project, I used this Paragon character, and the only things that I changed from the usual are the max walking speed being set to 800 and the orientation of rotation being changed from orient rotation to movement to use control desired rotation. This is the animation blueprint I am using. Uh, in this project, I first made a one-dimensional blend space and then decided to make another one, the multi-directional one. This is the first initial one-directional blend space of the character running, where I would still have to use the other orientation method. This is my more complex one. I've sourced all the animations from the default ones that come inside the Paragon characters. For this, I have the sprint, the walk forward, then the jog, and the sprint left. I have the sprint backwards in both directions here and here as well. And the idle pose here. Oh, come on. This is just still the idle pose, all three of these, so that the character will always come back to the idle, whichever direction you're going. It's just when you're not applying any forward movement to it. The event graph for it is, oh, sorry, here it is. This is the one that works with the multi-directional blend space. I'll show the other one, the old one, in a second. This is what it looks like now. Here I create the value for a character movement so I can actually track it and use it. And in here I went from just creating the airborne effect for the state machine to actually also getting orientation and direction from it so I could actually measure that in the multi-directional blend space. After defining these two values, I could then bring them here and plug them in so I could actually have a nice output. I'll now show the old screenshots. So this is this is the new one. This is one of the challenges I had. I was following a tutorial online, and the person using the other one, or the tutorial I was referencing, was using an older version of Unreal where they were checking their speed by a velocity uh, calculation, some older node that I didn't know how to use. So this was my attempt at using it before I approached my lecturer for help. This is what his one looked like, and that was their blend space. Oh, sorry, event graph. This is my state machine. It starts obviously with the idle to walk blend space, and then it goes and checks for an airborne boolean. Then we've got the actual jump sequence, which is just a jump animation. And then we'll go back. And then obviously the game checks if you can enter the transition or not, and then the actual airborne state, which is just a jump apex animation, or the apex of the jump animation. and then obviously the boolean of not being airborne anymore. Come on. Then you've got obviously the landing animation, and then again can enter transition just to being an idle walk again. Another challenge I had in this project was getting rid of the weapons for this character, which I unfortunately do not remember how to do anymore. One of the ways I tried to do it initially was to get the skeleton mesh from inside. Uh, I think it was. There it is. I tried to get it from inside of a blend space, and I would try to find these bones that are responsible for being a part of the hierarchy that controls the actual weapons themselves, and I would just change their scale value to 0, which would get rid of the weapons in this viewport, but would obviously not change the scale in here. Overall, I think my project was very successful. I have a very nice result of the multi-directional blending, jumping, and generally moving around. It looks very well. I'm very happy with it. One of the things I could definitely improve is still the capsule size. I'm having trouble understanding how that works perfectly because as you can see the character is still floating a little bit more than I would like. And I am not the biggest fan of the way this going sideways, or sorry, diagonally. I'm not a big fan of this animation, which means I will have to port a different animation over instead of using the ones that come with this polygon character. But overall, I am extremely satisfied with my result. And I think it sets me up great for project 2, as I have some good basic knowledge of how to do the most basic blend spaces and state machines.